So with that being said, we do have a few storylines that are starting to emerge. We do have some groups that are starting to, we're starting to be able to look at who the starters are going to be and all of that. But let's start with quarterback. It does look like Graham Mertz is getting a lot of the number one reps right now with Jack Miller and Max Brown right behind him. I heard Max Brown slinging the ball a little better than maybe anticipated. But Nick, give us your thoughts on the quarterback position.
So I think it is a competition, and the way that they split reps, Jack will get reps with the ones as well. But from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, it seems like they're trying to give Graham Mertz every opportunity to win this job. Like they would like him to win it. I won't even talk about the first 2 days. We're throwing without pads on to nobody.
Outside of reps, I want to real quick. Outside of reps, what would give you the indication that they want him to win the job? Just curious.
I think the way that they've talked about him, being a veteran, 32 games, they sat him next to Kingsley, who is, the quarterback of your offensive line room, and next to Trahada Mitchell, who is the quarterback of your defense. I think that, listen, I don't know that anyone, even in the fan base, was not excited about this. The people in that building love Graham Mertz. Love him. First one in, last one out. Gym rat.
Yeah, a lunch pail kind of guy.
So they love him. I want to see what he looks like when you're actually playing 11-on-11. So I'm not getting a lot from past skeleton drills.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. If he aligning, and I want you to finish your take on what you were saying with the quarterback room, but yeah, if they aligning him beside Taraji Mitchell and also Kingsley, it's kind of like putting the leaders beside each other. So I can see those vibes for sure.
And I'm not ready to say that it's over. I don't think Jack got a fair shake in the Las Vegas Bowl. Like nobody wanted to be there, and he was hurt the whole year. It'll be interesting. I think Florida's going to be in the market for another quarterback in the transfer portal when it opens in May. Whether that is a guy that can come in and start right away or just another scholarship type of guy to give you 4 in that room. But quarterback's fine. Definitely different vibes. I was real excited for Ant last spring.
Right.
So different vibes this spring.
Already. I expected them to try to chase a quarter. After we missed Rashada, they need somebody in to add to that quarterback room. So not shocking there. We'll see who that is. A lot of quarterback competitions going on around the country at Texas, Ole Miss Lane. He got quite the battle going on out there. It's like a 3-way thing. And also Alabama. Everybody got their eyes on Milroy and Ty Simpson out there. So a lot of battles to watch. We'll see how it all shake out this spring. But
yeah, no surprise Lane Kiffin is involved in a 3-way thing. Offensive line.
Sounds like his bag.
Offensive line, it looks like we've got from left to right, it looks like we've got Austin Barber at left tackle, then Mazuka at left guard, Egu Khan at center, Richie Leonard at right guard, and then seeing both Damian George and Keontae Goodwin at right tackle. Any additional clarity there, Nick, or are we going to still see some fine-tooth combing of that offensive line starting spot?
I think it'll be Goodwin, but that'll be a battle. I almost thought that they would kick George inside and put him next to Goodwin, but they love Richie Leonard. I think Richie Leonard is a good player, and I thought Richie Leonard would maybe even get a shot at center to push Kingsley and say like, "Hey, this is not your job. You have to earn it again." But I like Richie. I like that offensive line. Mazuka's been one of the guys, especially from the transfer portal, that I've been impressed with. Rob Sale was really high on him. He says, you tell him something in practice that's a different scheme or a different technique, and he just picks it up. Like football comes easy to him. Jabbar Jalouk said you don't want to be in a dark alley with him. So now you've got smart and mean. I'll take that all day in an offensive lineman.
Absolutely. Are we seeing anybody else? I know Jake Slaughter is a guy that is potentially up for that center spot as well. What does it look like beyond that starting 6 that we just named there? Obviously 5 with the addition of either Goodwin or George. But I know Billy Napier said that they have about 10 guys. So what are those other 4 that are pushing?
I don't think they have 10 yet.
Okay.
But I think I like Roger Kearney a lot. I'm always hesitant to talk about freshmen, especially
I heard he's
offensive
getting reps on
linemen.
the 2 deep though.
He's getting reps with the twos, which is why I bring him up. And I had another writer who does a lot of film breakdowns tell me Roger Kearney had the best film of any interior lineman. Loved him. Those five that you mentioned, I like. David Connor's been out in a black jersey, a non-contact jersey. I think Barbers looks good. Has looked good on the left side. Riley Simmons is getting a little bit of run, but for really like Jordan Herman, Damian George, Keontae Goodwin, maybe Roger Kearney, Richie. Those 5. I don't think Florida's got 10.
All right. At running back, obviously we have Montreal Johnson and ETN as your starting 2. But it looks like Cam Carroll is doing well as well. A little bit maybe more impressive in some of the film breakdowns that's been shared on social media. Now, caution everybody when we talk about film shared on social media, but it does look like he's maybe a little bit more impressive than maybe people were imagining.
He bet on himself. That's one thing. I mean, he only has 1 year of eligibility left, and they asked him to come to a room that is returning 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns. And he said, sure. I think it'll be hard for him to crack that rotation, but he's a guy that you can put on special teams, on all 4 special teams, could even be a returner. He's got legit speed at almost 230 pounds. And also, if I'm him, get him where you fit in. Florida hasn't really used the running backs in the passing game. Live on that jugs machine. Show them, hey, I can be your third down back. I can catch passes. I can be involved in the passing game. He's been in a non-contact jersey a little bit, but still going through drills with the running backs.
And then we have Jason Odom waiting. So before we do that, let's just give one final review of the wide receiver room. It looks like freshman Andy Jean is doing very well. Nick, who do we have as starters at wide receiver?
I'm breaking my rule, not hyping freshmen. Love Andy Jean. I think I said on Twitter, his route running reminds me of like Van Jefferson, but he's got like an Antonio Callaway, like shifty speed to him. Everyone I've talked to says at some point this year he will be starting, and they wouldn't be surprised if it's week 1. Just a really mature football player. Lives in the facility, Dan.
I love it.
Things you love to hear. I like him a lot. I think Aiden Mizell is coming along as well. He hasn't played football in a while because of his injury, so he's coming through. I'm not as low on the wide receiver room as I was last
year. Yeah,
a little higher on the wide receiver room this year.
Wow, look at you.
It might just be Andy Jean.
Hey, it only takes a couple.
A lot of speed. What was missing in that room was speed and separation. So these guys can run routes and they have the speed to separate. So good job by the staff for just bringing in what the room was missing. Most importantly, you know what I'm saying. So I like shockingly, I think Graham Mertz is going to have a better room of weapons than what AR had. So we'll see how that benefits him.
It's Mertz mania.